fantastically nice. Well, listen, Chris, thank you very much for having me, and it's great to be with everybody here tonight in this stunning location. Actually, part of my earlier career, I worked with General Ronson on the planning application for this building. I can remember the received wisdom at the time was that he was insane, that London was not going to be a city of towers. And actually, you just look around here now and you see this immense transformation of London into a 21st century destination, and it's just absolutely brilliant to be here, because I sort of only remember this as plans on the board. And so it kind of, in many respects, is a very good sort of, I guess, case study of the points I'd like to make tonight, which is that in a world which is fundamentally pessimistic right now, if you want to differentiate yourself, if you want to be the destination that stands out, then you have to own the word optimism. So I want to make a few points, and I suppose, yes, talking of points, in the immortal words of Chris Hume, I suppose there's 3 points I need to get across tonight. I need to get across to you the story, that optimism story, and I'd like to tell that through the lens of the entrepreneur. I'd like to talk about the destination battle, the place race that's going on right now, and why I think Liverpool is particularly well placed. And so what I think is that this world of entrepreneurs right now is something that cities need to start looking at a bit more quickly, and actually start thinking about how do they galvanise, how do they bottle up what makes their city special. Because I think for too long what we've seen, and I think, you know, Michael Heseltine's report is quite interesting to this regard, is that we've turned our cities into commodities, interchangeable, the high streets looking the same, the governance of those cities looking really similar, and what we've created is an insipid generation of cities. And what they need is they need a restart. They need the same sense of enthusiasm and the same sense of commercial acumen that you have when you're a startup. Those cities need to become startup cities, and they need to think about how they restart themselves in terms of this sort of this generation right now. Because cities are brands, right? You know, cities are stories. If I talk about Regent Street, if I talk about Fifth Avenue, you know, you don't have to be there to know that they're great places to be, and destinations, simply put, are just places where people want to be. And so creating that environment where people want to go to it is absolutely crucial. And to have a really successful city, I believe you have to have a chief storyteller. You have to have somebody that is going to get out there and sell that destination. And Liverpool has something really interesting right now, which gives it a standout benefit that not a lot of other places have. It has a mayor. It has somebody whose whole job is to actually get out there and sell that city to the outside world. But you also need to think about a story in terms of chapters. You know, what are the messages that you want to get across? And I think that right now, Liverpool needs to think about it in terms of what its story needs to be to the outside world. It can't be an internal story, because it needs to build new friends. And I think that Liverpool being a home for entrepreneurs and a home for business is a really credible piece of positioning, because if you think about it, one of the things that brands have to be is they have to be authentic. You know, in this world, it's the best story that wins. And Liverpool has a trading history, it has a maritime history, it has a business history, which is right in the DNA of the city brand. So I think that actually what we have here is the potential for Liverpool to get first mover advantage in a way that a lot of other cities haven't got right now. And that's why hosting something like the International Festival for Business, hot on the heels of Accelerate, will be an important part of getting that message home, because you literally have to boot the door down. That is what you have to do in this world in terms of enforcing your message. And you know, what I think, you know, that Liverpool needs to really invest in is in that startup story, in that entrepreneur story, because, you know, there's not a lot of people that are talking up what's going on with entrepreneurs at the moment, but those entrepreneurs have created 1 million new jobs in this parliament alone, right? They have created all of those jobs within the private sector. And what you can now do is that you can set up a business for about £14, and you can do that in under an hour. So actually sort of, you know, championing that story, having that sort of right in the DNA of what you're about is really important. So I think what I'd like to finish up by saying is that, you know, the thing about a destination is that it's just about somewhere you want to be. That's what I started off by saying, is that, you know, and to have that asset on your side, you need to have a story. You need to have a story which is as powerful for you as a city as Never Knowingly Undersold or Every Little Help would be for Tesco or John Lewis. And I think that, you know, investing in that brand, investing in that identity is absolutely what it's about. because cities are going to be on the front line of economic recovery. Make no doubt about it. It won't be, with respect to rural regions, it won't be the rural regions of Britain that deliver economic recovery for Britain. It will be about 5 or 6 cities, of which Liverpool is absolutely right up there, that will be the difference between winning and losing right now. So there is a place race. There is something out there to win. There's a reputation to win. I happen to think that Liverpool's in a really important place in actually winning it. And I hope that we can all get together as that tribe of people, that coalition of the willing, that can get that story out there. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Thanks very much.